Titans of the Licky. South of Birmingham, between Bromsgrove and Blackwell stations, stands the infamous Licky Incline. With a 1 in 37th grade, the 2-mile climb poses an arduous challenge for engines to traverse. To counter this, banking locomotives are needed to help push the trains up the hill. This is where Big Bertha shined best. Bertha, or Emma, as she was sometimes called, was the Licky's dedicated banker. Come heat or cold, rain or shine, she worked tirelessly to keep the trains from getting stuck on the grade. Several bankers came and went, but Bertha remained a constant, and for the longest time this is the way it stayed. However, time wore on. Trains became longer and heavier. Bertha, now an older engine, found herself being able to do less and less. By 1956, it became apparent that a fresh set of wheels and pistons were needed to maintain the Licky. One morning, a Ginty 3F was sat in the sidings of Bromsgrove. He was enjoying a sunshine doze when a mighty exhaust beat caught his attention. This was nothing unusual. Several powerful engines passed through the Licky, but the intensity of the noise kept growing louder and louder. An almighty squeal of brakes forced him to open his eyes. There, stood on the track beside him, was a huge 9F. The gargantuan locomotive casted a glowing look down onto the little tank engine. He hissed steam from his cylinders in an imposing manner. The 9F was taken aback.
What? Why are you laughing? Oh dear. You're funny, mate. That display of yours, hardly impressive. Did some high horse at crew tell you to do that?
The large tender engine's stunned silence was answer enough.
You 9Fs are all the same. A word of advice. Drop that silly act of yours. Respect is something earned, not demanded. Oh. Okay.
The tank engine throttled, amused. Young engines these days.
Right. Is there something I can help you with? Typically us bankers are the ones who travel light engine round here. Oh, I'm a banker here, actually. At least, that's what I've been told I'm gonna be.
The 3F's face suddenly fell.
Oh, so you're the new recruit then? I think. I was, told to report to a number, 58100.
Just then, a lengthy passenger train descended the grade, followed by a huge booming whistle.
Ah, well then, you won't have long to wait. Here she comes now.
On cue, another Goliath tender engine rumbled up alongside. The 9F blinked. She wasn't as big as he, but was still considerably hefty nonetheless. She too had 10 driving wheels, giant inclined cylinders, and an even bigger boiler to boot. In times gone by, she must have been the most stupendous sight to behold. As one might expect, her face betrayed the experience of several long years of battling the incline. There was, however, a semblance of warmth genuine in it too. She beamed when she summed up the situation. Hello, hello, hello. What have we got here? Ginty, have you been riling up this poor fellow? She gave a wink before turning to the 9F. I do apologize for whatever Ginty may have said. He means well naturally, but tankies will be tankies, of course. She laughed heartily at her own jest. The 9F winced. It was an extraordinary noise that rattled his frames.
Bertha, this is the new banker, your trainee,
said Ginty. Bertha stopped short. She looked again at the 9F, examining him up and down. Just for a moment, a hint of sadness flickered across those great eyes. Oh, is that so? Well then, welcome to the Licky, Bertha resumed her jovial tone. As you've heard, my name is Bertha, or Emma depending on who you are. You've met Ginty, obviously. Have you got a name we can call you by?
Well, actually, no, I don't. I just have a number, 92079.
Bertha considered this for a moment. You were built recently, weren't you?
Just this year, actually.
Ah, that explains it. Well, my boy, we'll have to change that, won't we? Every licky banker ought to have a name. Ginty, help me out here. What name do I think would suit this fine young lad? Ginty furrowed his brow.
Well, Bertha, in my own humble opinion, an engine's name is like his respect. Both ought to be earned.
Oh, come along, man. Don't be such a stick in the mud. Bertha chortled. She turned back to the 9F. Is there anything you'd like to be called?
No. I mean, nothing particular comes to mind,
he said shyly. For such a colossal engine, 92079 certainly liked to talk quietly. Here, son. You needn't be so reserved, reassured Bertha. We don't bite here. Well, I don't anyway. Again, she hollered at her own joke. 92079 eyed her wearily. In all seriousness, though, never mind about that name thing. The right one will pop up when the time is ripe, I'm sure. So, she then said, you'll be studying under my tutelage, eh?
That's what I was told.
Confirmed the 9F. Coolio, have you ever banked before?
No. Can I ask a question?
Of course. Fire away.
How does one bank a train?
Bertha smiled. Oh, well, it's quite simple, really. You just buffer up to the back and push. So simple, in fact, I think you can get started right away. At that moment, a heavy goods train came crawling into the station, stopping short of the hill. The engine up front whistled for a banker. 92079's eyes widened.
Wait, what? No, I can't. I mean, I don't think I can do it myself.
No one's asking you to, silly. Having a shiny do his first bank all by himself? What am I, crazy? You and I will be going together.
A shiny?
Yep, your paintwork. It's shiny and new, just like you. Come on, come along, spit spot on the double. With that, Bertha puffed dutifully out of the sidings.
But, just go, mates,
said Ginty.
You want to impress us? Well, there's your chance. Hop to it, man.
Are you coming? Bertha called from a distance. The 9F reluctantly followed suit. Before long, the two mighty tender engines were in position. 92079 directly behind the brake van, and Bertha behind him.
I don't know about this.
The 9F quivered. Well, I do, chuckled Bertha. Hands-on experience is the best way to learn. Now, when I give the signal, push with all your worth.
Huh? What signal?
Without warning, Bertha gave a deafening blast on her whistle. The engine up front responded in kind. Then the kettle gate began to move with a mighty jolt. The 9F started in surprise. Bertha was forcefully pressing him against the weight of the train as they ascended the grade. Come on, lad, she called from behind. Show me some of that BR oomph. At last, 92079 regained his senses, and indeed he was pushing with all of his worth. The noise was incredible. With an almighty effort, he and Bertha forced the train up the grade, and in no time, they crested the hill. The engine up front whistled his thanks before making his way down the other side. Whoa! Balked Bertha. Now that was banking. Exhilarating, isn't it? 92079 paused to consider. Then, for the first time that day, he gave a slight smile.
Could we do that again?
Bertha smiled too. Of course we can. Of course we can.